Aloha, everybody. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Touchful Podcast. I feel it will be a really sweet one for me to make. I have this kind of sweet feeling in my heart, and I'm just super happy and grateful for one story that I want to share with you and maybe hopefully inspire you to some contemplation around that story and around that topic. So, in most cases, or probably even in all cases, the episodes that I'm recording, they are inspired by some stories, something that happened to me, something that I went through. Sometimes it is connected to my Lomi Lomi practice and my clients or my students. Sometimes it is just connected to a moment in life, a moment in day that I had that evokes something in me, something so deep, something that touched me so deeply and so strongly that I feel that it might be worth sharing with the world. And it is such a case. I had a beautiful, heart-opening moment the other day, and I would like to share it with you. So, just to give you a little bit of context, if you don't know me very well, or maybe it's even your first time listening to me, then I would love to say hello, and it's nice to have you here. And if you're a returning listener, then I also want to say hello, aloha, and just thank you so much for choosing to spend a moment of your life with me. And just to give you a little bit of context, if you don't know me that well, so I live in Iceland, and in my personal opinion, I live in the most beautiful part of Iceland, which is Snæfellsnes Peninsula. And yesterday, I was driving back home, and it was a beautiful sunny day. I could see all the mountains, snow on the mountains, and kind of sparkly snow and beautiful sun, and I was feeling really good about myself, and I played a song. I usually drive in silence. I like to use the moment of driving for my own personal contemplations or even meditations, but I chose to play a song. And as I was listening to that song, I could feel something in my heart growing and getting bigger. And there was this one line in that song. By the way, I will put the link to the song in the description of this episode, so if you want to listen to it and if you want to see if this song will have such effect on you as it had on me, then you can go to the description and find a link there and listen to that song. So there came this line: how rare and beautiful it is to even exist. How rare and beautiful it is to even exist. And I had this moment. I didn't even start crying. It was not even tears down my cheeks. I had a full on burst. I just burst into tears. And I could feel my heart expanding and growing so much. I had this moment which I call moments of grace. These moments that I sometimes have when I feel that something in life touches me so deeply, that something in life, very often it is a song that I listen to, or some words that somebody says, or a view that I have, or a moment in nature, or a moment during a Lomi Lomi session. Something in life touches me directly, touches my heart directly, touches me to the core, and kind of rips my heart open and throws me into grace and throws me into love. And I had this moment with that song when that line came, and it was not the first time I was listening to that song, but it came to me with such power, this moment of grace. How rare and beautiful it is to even exist. And it overtook me so much that I actually had to pull over. I had to stop, and I had to give myself a moment to allow something that I call being overtaken by life, being overtaken by love. I wonder if you ever had a moment like this, a moment of this immense beauty, grace, love that feels almost painful. It feels like your heart is almost too small to contain the profoundness of such moment. And very often they can be seemingly ordinary moments. Maybe, looking into the eyes of your baby, or looking into the eyes of your lover, or looking at the view, or in my case, listening to the song, not even for the first time, and just being moved by it, being touched by it. Something that I call being overtaken by life. So I pulled over, I put my hand on the heart that felt almost too small to receive so much grace and so much love. I took many, many breaths. I cried. I allowed myself to feel the love, because these are, to me, the most beautiful moments. And each time I have a moment like this, each time life moves me to tears, each time life touches me deeply, I make a vow to myself that I will do anything and everything to be in such deep touch with myself and in touch with life, and to inspire and take with me as many people as possible, that I want to live my life from this place, that I want to be overtaken by love over and over again, and taken by life, claimed by love and claimed by grace. And I feel that each and every time a moment like this happens, it heals my everything. It, like I said, it rips my heart open, it makes it bigger, so I can feel even more love, more compassion, more care, more grace, more beauty, and I can show up in my life more and more from this place. So number one inspiration that I have for you is look for these moments. Check with yourself in your memory. Have you ever had such a moment? Or maybe you sometimes feel that you have a moment like this, but you don't want to go fully into that. You don't want to go fully into, crying your eyes out just because you saw a beautiful view, or crying your eyes out just because you saw that one scene in a movie that just touches you deeply. Sometimes we have this tendency, I definitely had this tendency, that I would stop myself. I wouldn't allow myself to feel that overtaking feeling, because I would then think that maybe I'm too emotional, I'm overreacting, that it is just a movie, it is just a song, it is just a view. Magdalena, grow up, you are hysterical, you're overreacting, you're too emotional. I used to be there, and I'm so grateful to myself and to my journey that I'm not there anymore, because these are the moments that I call them life-touching life. When I touch the world and the world touches me in the deepest truth, and these are the moments that are very healing. If you ever maybe cried on a movie, I often cry on Disney movies, I'm definitely not the only one. If you ever had like a good cry on a movie, then maybe you know this feeling when your eyes are swollen and you barely can see anything, but you feel a relief, you feel that your heart just got a little bit bigger. And that's the point of it. That's the point of allowing life to touch us, so our hearts can get a little bigger. So my number one inspiration for you from today is allow life to touch you. Allow yourself for these moments. If you have songs that make you cry, these kind of like beautiful, good, warm, heart-opening tears, listen to them. I actually have a playlist that I named like this: songs that make me cry. They somehow evoke something in me. They connect me to grace. They connect me to love and to the beauty of life. And this song that I was listening to definitely goes into that playlist again as well, because when I listened to it again this morning, I had exactly the same reaction. How rare and beautiful it is to even exist. And when I was sitting in the car, having that moment of profound love and connection with all of life, a sentence came to me, definitely inspired by the song, and that sentence was that life is a rare gift, that it is rare and beautiful to even exist, like the song was saying. And I felt so deeply that it is a rare gift to be alive. It is a rare gift to be alive. And I would like to inspire you to contemplate on that. So today's episode is an inspiration for contemplation. Contemplation of this idea that it is a rare gift to be alive. It is rare and beautiful to even exist. And I want to talk with you a little bit more about how I understand contemplation and what it means for me to practice contemplation, to allow myself contemplate something, contemplate on something, because it has been one of my main practices in life. I don't even want to call it a spiritual practice, though definitely contemplation is a big part of many spiritual paths. But I feel that in a way, contemplation is like a natural need for us humans and our natural ability to go deeper. So contemplation, to me, the way I practice it, the way I feel it, it is a heart-centered knowing, as opposite to mind-centered knowing, or brain-centered, or head-centered. So if we take a piece of information, a piece of this life, a piece of the world, and we start to play with our mind, I call it the analysis. We are analyzing very often pros and cons of things. We are using our mind for the analysis, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's just there is a difference between playing with some idea, playing with some sentence, like this sentence that it is a rare gift to be alive, to let it, circulate in your mind. It's a different thing. It's an analysis versus taking it a little bit deeper, or a lot deeper. I feel like contemplation is an invitation for a very deep practice. It is almost like meditating on a sentence, sometimes even on one word, on an idea, meditating on a piece of reality from the from the space of the heart. And what contemplation does, at least the way I feel it, of course, what it does to me, I feel that it deepens and broadens my awareness. So when I allow myself to contemplate on something, not to analyze it, but to contemplate on it, so without the need to understand it, without the need to label it, without the need to categorize it, without the need to put it into the box of like right or wrong, without trying to dissect it. But when I take it deeper into my heart and I allow myself to contemplate it, it feels like I'm talking to my own heart, or it feels like I'm allowing my heart to speak on a certain topic, on a certain word, on a certain idea, on a certain piece of reality. And what it does for me is that it broadens my awareness, it opens up my awareness, and it deepens it, and it deepens my relationship with the world. When I dive into this contemplative state, and in a moment I will tell you in practice how to do it, based on the example of this sentence that I want to contemplate with you, that life is a rare gift. So when I dive into this practice, I feel that this connects me more to life, to the river of life, to the stream of life. It deepens my connection with myself. It deepens my connection with the world. It deepens my connection with love. And a deep, truthful, beautiful contemplation allows me to open up more as love and to show up more as love. And if you have been with me for some time and listening to my podcasts, then you know that there is nothing more important and also nothing more interesting for me in my life at this moment of my journey than this: deepening my connection with life, allowing myself to open as love, deepening my connection with my own heart, with a full respect to the mind and all the amazing possibilities of the mind, but dropping out of the mind, dropping deeper into the body, deeper into the heart. So to start with, I like to contemplate on ideas, sentences, words, pieces of reality that already touch me. So I have some reactions to them. Sometimes it's this beautiful, positive, heart-opening reaction, like I had to this sentence that it is a rare and beautiful gift to even exist. And sometimes I take into contemplation some words or some ideas that are not so comfortable for me. I remember that some time ago I was a lot contemplating on the idea of wealth, being wealthy, what it even means for me to be wealthy, to be rich. Again, not from the mind, but deeper, kind of like asking my heart, because I used to have lots of beliefs around wealth that were definitely not serving me. So one of my practices of changing these beliefs was contemplating on the idea of wealth, what it means to be wealthy. Do I consider myself wealthy? What it means to be rich. Do I think that I am rich? Who is rich? Who is a rich person? Another contemplation that I had a long time ago, and I feel that it brought me very much to the place where I am right now, was contemplating the idea of success. So again, what is success to me? Asking myself, asking my own heart, kind of like having a conversation with myself like I would have with my dearest friend, opening my heart, just like you sometimes feel that you can open your heart to your good friend and you can just pour out everything that is in your heart, because you know that it will be met with love and with compassion and with understanding, or at least with curiosity. This is also the practice of contemplation, but instead of having it with a friend, you do it with yourself. In fact, you can do it with a friend as well, and I will talk about that more in a moment. So I had this moment a time in life when I was contemplating a lot on the idea of success and what it really means for me to be successful. Another idea, another sentence that I was contemplating a lot about was, you can have it all. Because I grew up in a family when I would very often hear that you cannot have it all. You have to choose. You can't have it all. Nobody can have it all. And then I remember I came across a person that for some time, then she became my mentor for some time. And her, what's the word for that? Her mindset was that you can have it all. And I had such a clash between that I heard from her and my upbringing, that one of the practices that I was doing was contemplating a lot around that. What does it mean that I can have it all? What is all? Like what it does to me. I would talk to myself like I would talk to a good friend. So I hope that I gave you some sort of ideas of what you can contemplate. So if you want to go into this contemplation practice, choose a word or choose a sentence that touches you in some way, in a very good and inspirational way, or maybe something kind of like rubs you the wrong way a little bit and you want to see what's under that, what's under this that triggers me. And once you have that, and for the sake of today's episode, we have this sentence that life is a rare gift. It is a rare gift to be alive. Then what I often do is I just start to repeat it to myself, a little bit like a mantra. It is a rare gift to be alive. And I allow myself to focus on the heart, on the area of my heart. So to drop down from my mind into the area of the heart, to take the contemplation to the heart. And if you have hard time doing it just like that, then you can have this beautiful practice of like dropping from the mind to the heart. We can do it together now if you want to. And it's with a breath, of course. Breath is life, and it helps to move everything in life. Everything becomes easier when we breathe. So if you want to move from your mind to your heart, do it with the exhale. And feel like with the exhale, all the thoughts that you have, all the ideas, all the tensions that you have in your mind around a certain topic, they are kind of like pouring down, down, down through your face, through your neck and throat, through your shoulders, and landing in your heart. And if you want to do it or need to do it more than once, then you can take another breath. And feel that the exhale is bringing the thoughts down like a waterfall. And that they can take a rest in the area of the heart. It is a beautiful practice on its own to give our mind a little bit of rest, to give it a little bit of space. If you feel that your head is so big and you want to give it a little bit of relief, then you can use this practice. And even if you feel that it doesn't work at the beginning, then give yourself a couple of tries. It is gonna work, and it works miracles, and it's a very, very easy practice. So if you feel that you have hard time with your contemplation to bring this to your heart, you can start with that, with like this bringing down all your thoughts with exhale to your heart. And let this sentence or this word that you want to contemplate, let it sit in your heart or swirl around your heart as you say it to yourself. It is a rare gift to be alive. Life is such a rare gift. It is a rare gift to even exist. And see what comes up. Maybe there will be a dialogue that comes up. Maybe there will be a continuation on that thought that comes up. And just pick up on that line, whatever comes up. That's how I do it. So right now, I can immediately feel it when I'm sitting with myself. And when I take this to my heart, that life is a rare gift. It is a miracle that we even exist. Then immediately what comes to me is the continuation of that thought, that I am a rare gift. I am a rare jewel. I am the rarest gift. It is a miracle that I even exist. And again, I allow that to swirl around my heart, to feel it in my heart, and to see what opens up for me. And immediately what comes up to me is this idea, this another sentence that I read some time ago that touched me deeply, that you are an unbroken chain of life since the beginning of time. Just think about it, let it sit and let it touch you. Don't play with it in your mind, take it to your heart and let it touch you. How rare, how almost impossible it is that you are here. You are an unbroken chain of life since the beginning of time, since the millions of years. Anything and everything could have gone wrong in that chain of life, but it didn't. and you are here, and you exist. And if this is not the rarest, most amazing miracle in the universe, then really I don't know what is. It's this kind of conclusion, this kind of feeling that I have right now. That just me being here, it blows my mind. It blows my heart. Imagine the chain of life behind you. So obviously there are your human ancestors, so your parents and their parents, and the parents of their parents, and so on and so forth. Allow yourself to see that for a moment, like a chain of people through the centuries. People that are not even a memory anymore to anybody, but they contributed to you being here. And if you go thousands of years in time, hundreds of thousands of years in time, millions of years back in time, then still allow yourself to feel the chain of life with all kinds of creatures that don't even look like humans. But they contributed to the fact that you are here, and that this is the rarest gift. These are the thoughts, the deep impressions that I'm having right now from this contemplative practice. What a rare gift I am. What a rare gift you are. And even if we don't think about this chain of life, chain of other people, then again, the other image that comes to me when I contemplate on that life is a rare gift. It is exceptional that we even exist. The image that comes to me is, of course, the sperm and the egg. And what were the odds? What were the odds that you would be here? 1 in millions. And yet you are here. You know what I'm trying to do? You feel what I'm trying to do? You feel what I'm trying to say? I'm very much a philosopher and artist in my life, and I am an artist of life, and I love this practice because it kind of like combines the art of life and the philosophy and deep thoughts that are not from the mind. And I immediately feel that the effects that I feel right now is that I have so much more appreciation for life. As I'm talking to you right now, I look at my own hands, I look at my own legs, I touch my face, and I think to myself, wow, I am not even 1 in a million. I am not even 1 in a billion. I don't even know what the number is. I don't even know what the odds are that I would be here. But I am here. And I allow it to touch me. I allow myself to feel it, to feel the miracle of it, to feel the deep truth behind it, that it is the rarest occurrence that I am here. And I very often do it just like that. So I take an idea, I take a sentence to my heart, or I start like that at least. I repeat it to myself a couple of times like a mantra, and I see what comes up, and I follow that line, I follow down the rabbit hole. Another way I love to contemplate is through writing and through journaling. And if writing is your thing, if you feel that you connect to your own thoughts better, if you feel that you connect to your creativity better when you write or when you see things on paper, then it is a beautiful contemplative practice to write. And I actually do it very often in the mornings. Almost every morning I have this moment of me sitting with my journal. And I very often just start writing words and I see what comes up. But if I would like to contemplate on that idea a little bit more, I would start by writing it down. I would write down, life is a rare gift. And then I would play a little bit with that in different ways of putting it into words. It is a rare gift to be alive. I am a rare gift. And then allow yourself for this free flow, free writing. So you don't know what's gonna come next. You just write whatever comes. And even if the only thing that comes right now is you want to write down, I don't know what to think about it, I'm not sure if this is true or not, allow yourself to write that. Allow for this free flow. And I sometimes do it like this. I put like full sentences of free flow. Sometimes I just throw some extra words. You can play with that. I encourage you to play with a piece of paper and a pen. This can take you so far in life. I was kind of always a little bit skeptical about journaling. So since I was a little kid and then a teenager and young adult, I always wanted to have like a diary, and to write down things that happened to me. And I could never, oh my God, for the life of me, I just could never, I never had a diary. I was always so jealous of my sister because she kept these diaries for years and she was just like writing down things that happened to her, and I could never. It was the most boring thing. So then later, when I came to the world of personal development and self-growth and spirituality and awareness and opening up, of course that I would hear so often from so many mentors, from so many teachers, from so many people, I would hear about journaling. And I would roll my eyes and I would be like, oh my God, journaling, please. No, I hate it. It doesn't work. Until I gave it a try and I found my own ways to journal. There is no right or wrong way to do it. And actually every day I do it differently. And there are days or sometimes even weeks when I don't journal. And very often, it is actually very often a case, I don't even read what I wrote. Or I sometimes read it like years later or months later. I find some old notebook and I'm going through the pages and I'm like, oh my God, did I write that? Wow, this is actually quite deep. So I encourage you, I want to inspire you, give yourself a try with journaling. In some other episode, in more than one episode definitely, I was mentioning the gratitude journal, and I sometimes use journaling for that, for connecting into gratitude and for writing down things that I'm grateful for. But journaling can be so much more than that. You can use it as a contemplative practice. You can use it as a practice that helps you to tap into your deepest wisdom, your deepest heart knowledge, because that's what contemplation does for us. We suddenly open up to such deep understanding of life, such deep connection to the current of life, such deep wisdom that really I'm so surprised at what I wrote when I read it later. And finally, the third way of contemplating on an idea, on a sentence, on a word, on a piece of reality, the third way that I like to do it with is actually to have a conversation with somebody. Sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's my companion, sometimes these are people who I am sure that they will have a totally different opinion than mine, and it is fine, because the point of having that conversation with somebody is not to convince them that this is true, that yes, it is a rare gift to be alive. Yes, it is true, and I'm going to convince you. No. The point of bringing that topic to the conversation with somebody is to allow for the contemplation, to allow for deepening the perspective, broadening the perspective. And especially if you feel that you have some difficulty around some topics that you want to explore a little bit more in your life, some ideas, some sentences, some topics, some pieces of reality, but you feel a little bit stuck, you feel that just talking about them to yourself doesn't lead you as deep as you would like to, or journaling on them doesn't lead you as deep as you would like to, take them into a conversation with your friend, with your partner, with your parents, with your children. Maybe very often children give us these most amazing enlightened perspectives on things. And just ask this person and allow yourself to have beautiful, deep, meaningful conversations with people. This is such a gift. I cannot even express how beautiful a gift it is to have deep, meaningful, truthful, connecting conversations with people. Conversations that are about something more than, bills and groceries. Not that these things are not important. They are, but they come so much from this like daily operational mind. And it is such a different thing to connect with somebody and with yourself on a deeper level through this deep, contemplative, meditative, beautiful, heart-opening conversation. So if you want to, you can take that sentence to a friend, to a partner, to a colleague, to your coworker, to your parent. Just tell them that, I was listening to this podcast and there was this lady and she said that it is a rare and beautiful gift to even exist, and that life is a rare gift, and that everybody is such a rare gift. And I wonder what you think about it. Do you agree? And then allow life to surprise you. Allow it to surprise you. It might turn out to be the most beautiful and connecting conversation that you will have with that person. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you agree or if you don't agree, if you come to a conclusion or not, because the point of contemplation is to deepen your awareness, to help you to tap into your heart's wisdom, to broaden your perspective, to deepen your connection with yourself and with the world. And this can be beautifully done through talking with somebody. It's one of the reasons when I have Lomi Lomi sessions, I always have a moment with my clients to talk before the session. We don't have these super long and lasting for hours conversations, but we always have a moment to talk. So we can connect a little bit deeper through the talking, through them sharing something. And then I also very often share some bits and pieces of my story, because I know that they can be inspirational for people, just like other people's stories are inspirational for me. And I love it, and it has been a big part of my Lomi Lomi journey and my Lomi practice. And this is also the way I teach, by the way. Just the other day I had a Lomi Lomi individual course, and a big part of it were these deep conversations, deep contemplations about some certain things, sometimes connected to Lomi, sometimes not so much. But I could feel with that course that I had, it was an individual course, so we had lots of moments of deep talks. I could feel that every time we were contemplating on some topic, it would deepen the Lomi practice for that person that I was teaching. It would open up something in them as it would open up something in me, for the love to pour through, for the Lomi Lomi to pour through, to pour out to the world. So that is like an interesting thing that I wanted to share about one of the ways I teach, through contemplation and through deep and meaningful conversations. Or if I have solo retreats here where I live, I sometimes invite my clients, those who want to come, for a mini solo retreat, 24 hours, and then it's with Lomi Lomi, with meditations, and with these deep contemplations, deep talks, kind of like, going a little bit deeper than the surface of reality. This is what I love so much about contemplative practices, that they take us so much deeper than just the surface of reality. Because for so many people, they spend their life so much on the surface. And I have these moments as well. We all have these moments when we are so much on the surface and, caring about just like daily things, about, the family operating smoothly, picking up the kids, paying the bills, renovating the house, buying a new car. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I love that part of life. It is a big part of my life as well. But life has more depth. There is more. And contemplative life, contemplative practices with yourself or with somebody, they give depth to life. to the point that later, even when you do these seemingly mundane things like, laundry or dishes or paying the bills or taking a car to a garage because it broke down, it has more depth to it. Life has more depth. And this, I think, is my conclusion that I wanted to land at. I didn't even know where I wanted to land, but I landed up here. And I think it's a good conclusion that I want to encourage you and invite you to contemplate on things that I was sharing with you today. That you are a rare gift. And allow this to add depth to your life. Allow this to add depth to your conversations, even everyday conversations that you have at a grocery store with a lady that you never met before. Allow life to touch you. Allow life to inspire you. Allow yourself to inspire others, because you are a rare gift. Your life is a rare gift. Contemplate on that. Contemplate on all the topics that you want to contemplate on. Take them to your heart. Allow them to touch you. Allow life to live you. Because there is nothing more beautiful than that. And to live life from this deepest place, deepest wisdom of the heart, deepest opening for love. For me, there is nothing more beautiful than that. And I wish you many moments of grace. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for spending a moment of your life with me. And it was a sweet episode. Like I said at the beginning, it really was a sweet episode for me to record. I've been smiling for the whole time when I was talking to that microphone, and now I want to take a moment to connect my heart to your heart. If you are listening to this, then it means that we are connected in this eternal now, in this eternal present moment, and my heart can connect to yours in this present moment, and that you can actually feel it if you allow yourself to feel it. So I'm gonna take a breath, and I invite you to take a breath with me. And I put my hand on the heart with the deepest gratitude for you, for the rare gift that you are. And just by listening to what I'm saying, you immediately make my life better. You make my life richer. You give my life more meaning. Contemplate on that. I love you dearly. Thank you for today, and I will talk to you sometime soon. Aloha. Bye bye.